Hello everyone, I'm Twisted, and welcome to my guide for Arena. Currently, at the time of writing this, I'm ranked 61 in PvE, and was top 100 for a short period of time when Arena was last released. I've played about 300 to 400 games between its initial time on PvE and now. This guide will be separated into sections that will be stamped if you want to jump between them, although I would recommend watching it through its entirety. So I think most people have a good idea about what Arena is, but for the sake of completion, I'll go over the mode real quick. Arena is a new game mode for League of Legends where 4 teams of 2 will battle it out until 1 team is left standing. The game is separated into rounds where between each round players will be able to strengthen their champions either through buying items or selecting random augments. You can queue up for Arena as 1 or groups of 2, 3, or 4, as well as make private games of a full lobby of 8 people. When you get into Champ Select, everyone will be able to ban a champion, then their first person on each team will be able to select their champion, followed by the second person right after. This change is great because players are now able to use counter picks to try to gain comp advantages in-game. I should mention though, if someone picks a champion at the first phase, you will be unable to pick it later, so if you really want to play a champion, you might want to swap pick order with your ally. In Arena there are 4 maps: Ancestral Woods, Desert Oasis, Frostbite Thicket, and Magma Chamber. You can find plants in each map here, and the hexates here. Controlling the plants in Arena is incredibly important due to the fact that they provide health, mana, and refresher cooldowns. I would recommend you for the Desert Oasis and Frostbite Thicket, you try to keep control of these choke points due to the fact that they give you quicker access to the 2 plants. During a match, after enough time has passed, a ring of fire will close on a random point on the map, dealing massive damage to anyone outside that ring. Locations of the ring are now random, and you can see where the ring is closing on your minimap. Augments are one of the 2 ways in Arena that you can increase the strength of your champion and are incredibly important. You can select augments at rounds 2, 5, 8, and 11. Augments are separated into tiers: silver, gold, and prismatic, with prismatic ones generally being the most powerful, and silver generally being the weakest. When selecting an augment, you have the option to reroll. You can only use 2 rerolls per game, so I would recommend that in most cases you save the rerolls for gold and prismatic augments. I don't want to go in depth on augments because they are very champion and situation dependent. Just try to pick augments that enhance what your champion is already the best at doing, and that should work well in a majority of cases. Items you choose to buy will be some of the most important decisions you can make in a game of Arena. You will be able to buy items at rounds 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, and so on. While most champions have a few core items that they want to build, it's important to keep in mind that you may not always be able to do so. In a lot of situations, it's more important to pick items that stop your enemies from achieving their win condition. In this game, for example, as Zyra, I purchased a Serpent's Fang in order to inhibit Janna's shielding in the final rounds. Not necessarily because Zyra likes to build Serpent's Fang, but because it was necessary in order to win the game. In the last 2 rounds where I had it, I was able to stop 6,500 HP worth of shields that normally me and my teammate would be unable to chew through. Another thing that I would like to mention is that during combat you can get 350 gold a round if you manage to kill the enemy, 700 gold if you have the contract kill augment. In most situations it's best to just bank the gold instead of buying potions so that later into the game you can go into combat with a full extra item on your opponent. Although I will say that if you are about to be eliminated, you should buy as many potions, or in some situations, possibly less long-term viable options, like Heal Cut, which in a lot of situations will feel bad, but it's important to remember that in order to win the game, you still have to be in the game, and understand when you have to sacrifice your econ to do so is important. In some of your matches, there will be a random champion in the match with you. The champions that can be a cameo are Gwen, who will dash to the lowest health character and heal them and make them untargetable for a few seconds. Pyke, who will dash and stun everyone behind him for a few seconds. Set, who when reduced to 0 HP will cast his W and deal massive damage to the opposing team. Silas, who replaces everyone's non-flash ability with a random ultimate. And Thresh, who will throw a lantern to the player farthest away from him and give the nearest champion with the lowest health a shield. In Arena there are 5 ranks, and you will start off with 500 LP in Wood. The LP thresholds for each rank are as follows. Wood is 0 to 1399 LP, Bronze is 1400 to 2599 LP, Bronze is 1400 to 2599 LP. Silver is 2600 to 3199 LP. Gold is 3200 LP to 3799 LP. And Gladiator is 3800 LP plus. From what I understand, there is no cap to LP. Currently, on PBE, as I'm finishing up this script, the top rated player has almost 7,400 LP. So after I make this video, I'm gonna have to grind. So that's a general rundown of what to do in the new Arena game mode. I will also have a tier list of the champions in Arena coming out alongside this video. If you could like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it, and it's a good way of letting me know that this is the kind of content people want for Arena.